Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to take the sources you share with us and really unpack the most important insights for you. Today, we're diving into a pretty crucial football match. It ended up being a tight win, and honestly, for a lot of fans, it feels like it's reignited a bit of hope.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, I think, is how a single hard-fought 1-0 win, especially, after that shaky first half and losing a star player, it becomes more than just the 3 points on the board. It sort of fundamentally shifts the team's own belief, their internal narrative, and how people see them. It's genuinely breathed new life into Nigeria's Super Eagles 2026 World Cup hopes. It's not just a scoreline. It's almost like a mental reset, especially when things look tough.
That's a really powerful way to frame it, a mental reset. Okay, so considering all that happened, that injury, the slow start, how did this narrow 1-0 win over Rwanda actually create such a buzz? How did it shift things so dramatically in Group C? What was the moment? What really turned it around?
It's amazing, isn't it, how fast one moment can just rewrite everything. It was about 6 minutes into the second half. Suddenly, the stadium just erupted. Tolu Arokodare, the substitute, he was right there, pounced on a loose ball in the box and just calmly slided it past the keeper. That wasn't just a goal. It felt like a huge release of pressure for everyone.
Right. And that's what's so key, because looking at the sources, that first half pretty much just limped along, didn't it?
Very cagey.
Yeah. Both teams sort of playing it safe, not really any clear chances. So for Arokodare to come on and do that, it wasn't just finding the net. It was like the spark that broke the deadlock. It changed the whole feel of the game.
Absolutely. The first half was almost like watching paint dry at times, tactically speaking. Very cautious. But Arokodare's goal, it was more than just timing. It injected this sudden belief. What looked like heading for a frustrating draw suddenly felt like a real winnable game.
But getting that goal, and maybe more importantly, holding on to that lead, it wasn't simple. They had that huge challenge when Victor Osimhen, their star striker, limped off in the first half. I mean, that's not just losing any player. That's your main goal threat, the guy carrying the attack. Psychologically, how does a team bounce back from that mid-match?
Exactly. That's the kind of moment where you might expect heads to drop,
Yeah.
maybe lose focus. But what we saw was, frankly, remarkable resilience. The focus seemed to shift instantly. It wasn't about individual magic anymore. It became about collective effort, disciplined defending. Calvin Bassey, especially, seemed to really marshal that backline. What could have become panic turned into this rock-solid defensive unit. It really showed their adaptability, that they didn't just collapse because Osimhen was out. Their resolve held.
And that collective strength, like you said, becomes so vital when your key player goes down. Makes you wonder, how much is tactics versus just pure leadership from guys like Bassey on the pitch? But okay, looking beyond just the 90 minutes, this win has a real tangible impact on their World Cup qualification journey, right?
Oh, definitely. A huge impact. With this win, Nigeria jumps up to 10 points from 7 games. They move into second in Group C, with Rwanda now behind them on 8 points. And with some crucial games still left to play, every single point is massive. So climbing from third to second, especially like this, it feels significant. It's one of those classic football stories, isn't it? Sometimes the biggest wins aren't the flashy 4-0s, but the gritty 1-0s where you really have to overcome setbacks.
Yeah, exactly. So we've seen that moment of brilliance from Arokodare. We've seen the team pull together after losing Osimhen, and now the whole group dynamic has tightened up. Must have been quite the emotional ride for the fans watching, too.
Oh, without a doubt. You saw it all, didn't you? The cheers, the massive sighs of relief. Okay, yes, quite a few worried faces thinking about Osimhen's fitness. But mostly, it's just raw emotion. This shows it's not just numbers or league tables. It's that psychological lift. It's reigniting that national dream. This specific win, given the context, the early struggles, the injury, it kind of pushes back against the doubts. It reminds everyone, the team included, what they're capable of. It's the sort of victory that can genuinely galvanize a whole campaign,
What a turnaround. So it really leaves you thinking, doesn't it? Can this one single tough victory actually build the confidence they need moving forward, enough to punch that ticket to North America in 2026? And maybe more broadly, what does it tell us about the sheer power of one moment, one goal in these really high-stakes games? Something for you to ponder until our next deep dive.